This trade on AMD is up $19,929 unrealized and another 20 or so thousand dollars realized. I will put the broker statements sometime in this video, probably around now, and I will verify all of my trading statements. But this is the trade breakdown on AMD. It was super clean. The technicals were there. The narrative and the market sentiment was there. And it was a very clean trade. So let's break it down. First, this is the daily candle. If you zoom out, always a great option to zoom out. You can kind of get a big picture of AMD, right? This is 2020, 2021. If anyone made any money in 2020 to 2021, it doesn't matter because everybody made money. And essentially, this is the beginning of 2022. This is as we were going into a new year and the markets were pricing in that the Fed was going to raise their interest rates as everybody had known for much longer before, yet the markets were now taking this into consideration. Essentially, the year of 2022, the way that I navigated this with the people that I work with is risk management. So we did that through trading through smaller size, anticipating that there is potential for room to go much lower, and essentially waiting for markets to resume after we get the confirmation to be quite aggressive, right? So essentially, 2022 idea was to scale in with the opportunity to have much more ammo if prices of many stocks went much lower. Yet primarily you would wait for confirmation. And if you look at the S&P, there's also a clear downtrend that you can paste that some of these companies will follow quite closely. So within this period, because of this simple trend line, essentially the shift that we started to see, we went long at the beginning of 2023 on AMD. We made about 20 to 25,000 realized within this range. Poorly executed, but still pleased with the large P&L in terms of percentage gains. And then eventually, we kind of just let this do its own thing. And then I believe around here is when NVIDIA had an incredibly strong forward guidance for their earnings in the following year. And AI became a super hot sector trade, and investors really began to believe that this was technology which can increase productivity, sustain the future, and massive amounts of liquidity went into these artificial intelligence related names, especially the hardware like semiconductors. So this right here is still the weekly chart. Essentially, if you look at the S&P at this similar time frame, there was somewhat of a pullback and corrective action. And essentially, around this point, for the S&P, the Fed was very hawkish or made some hawkish remarks, which shifted the actual sentiment in the markets. And then we had Israel Hamas somewhere within this time frame. I believe so. You can double check to make sure. And finally, US 10-year bonds were essentially going parabolic. And to me, I was just tracking them to see if they would maintain or if they were starting to reverse. And here they were starting to reverse. And essentially, there was maximum fear within the markets. And we deployed long trades into not only AMD, but a few other stocks as well, which maybe I'll make some videos about for the reasoning where we went in. So essentially, in my chat room, I was sharing long calls, have great risk reward profile going into AMD earnings, considering all that is going on and the future of AI. And if you played those, you had a multi 100% runner depending on how long you held those for. I played the calls, and in this particular account that I help manage, we essentially went long, started long at $95, added on the confirmation after earnings, rode this up to 122, I believe, this area we started to sell because of some topping action with anticipation to add back lower. Yet the markets had rallied much longer, and that's why it was important that we had some liquidity or some skin in the game for this particular trade. And we are currently up $19,938, with a realized of somewhere around $25,000. I'm sure I've already shared the broker statements in this video. So that right there is the high level thinking behind this AMD trade, with a realized US dollar amount of somewhere near $50,000 throughout the whole year. Absolutely amazing opportunity, super clean. Just by this weekly chart here alone, everything lines up perfectly. And then our job as active traders, active portfolio managers, is essentially to zoom into smaller time frames and get precision accuracy on these larger time frame setups, which is like what I had just explained here. So if you like this, check out my chat room. I share my ideas of how I run my money along with partners that I run these accounts with. And if you have any questions, put in the comments below. Follow all of my social. I want to start getting active on here, not because we're having a great month, but I think because there's a lot of values that are available, or a lot of value to be given during the difficult times like here, where you're trying to manage your risk, stay disciplined, and know when not to be aggressive. So thank you for watching.